Hey guys, it's Tori, and today I'm going to be doing the Tag About Tags. This was created by Roz at Scallydandling About the Books. Always a name I struggle with, but I will link her original video down below, and I was tagged by Emily at Novelle Novels, so I will also link her video down below. Forewarning, as usual, I did not plan ahead for this tag, so I've sort of looked at the questions, but not much, so we'll just have to see how this goes. Okay, so the first prompt is tag first. Did you do the Booktube Newbie Tag? If not, what was your first tag? Do you choose to watch Newbie Tags? So I did not do the Booktube Newbie Tag. I wasn't very aware of it. Like, I knew about it, but it wasn't something that really drew me. Honestly, I enjoy tags, but I've never been, especially early on, I wasn't that interested in doing them regularly or anything. So I just didn't really have it on my radar. My first tag was actually the Unpopular Opinions tag by I don't even remember who, but that was my first tag I ever did just because I thought the topic was interesting. And to this day, I don't really watch Booktube Newbie Tags unless I end up following a channel that does a Booktube Newbie tag while I'm already subscribed to them. I'll look at that. But yeah, I don't usually watch Booktube Newbie Tags. I feel like it's a good idea. I probably should find more channels. But I also feel like I'm very overwhelmed with my subscription feed already, so I try to slow down. I still will subscribe to new people, but I'm trying to slow myself down just a little bit so that I don't overwhelm myself. So anyway, question 2 is tag emotions. What feelings do tags provoke in you? Tag joy and delight, tag boredom and resentment, tag guilt or anxiety, even tag envy. That's a really good question. I would say I like the term tag delight because I feel like there are some tags that prompt really interesting discussions. I really like people's answers for them. Others maybe I'm not as intrigued by, but a lot of the time I've always been interested in tags when they come out. They're not necessarily my favorite videos, but I've always been intrigued by different tags. Some tags maybe inspire a little bit more boredom, like I'm not as interested in them, but a lot of the time there's some delightful tags that help you get to know the reader a lot better in a way you maybe otherwise wouldn't have, which I really appreciate about them. I never feel tag guilt, at least not yet. I mean, I guess to an extent of like, I feel bad when I'm not able to get to a tag very fast, especially because I only post a couple times a week, and I really like doing other types of videos like discussion videos and lists and things like that. And so tag videos sometimes get brushed aside, and so it ends up sometimes being months before I get to a certain tag, even if it's not necessarily because I have a lot of tags to do. It's more just like tags are kind of a secondary priority for me. And so sometimes I do feel a little guilty about that, but I do always get to tags that I'm tagged in unless something weird happens with my scheduling or I just don't see the video and don't know I was tagged. So if you've tagged me in something and I haven't done it yet, and it's been a month or two and I haven't even said anything, please let me know because I should be on top of it, but I'm not always. So I do feel tag guilt about that and some tag anxiety for similar reasons of just knowing I have to get to these tags and wanting to make sure I do and don't forget, especially because sometimes I watch Booktube, I listen to Booktube at work, and when I do that I don't always super pay attention to the whole video, and so I might miss if I get tagged. Or sometimes I know I got tagged, but I worry because I don't have my schedule in front of me, I'm at work, and I have my planner that I just keep at home. Because I don't have it with me, it makes me stress that I'm going to forget. So I try usually to set actually a reminder or a note or something in my phone to remind me when I get home to add it to my schedule, but I have some anxiety about forgetting about it by the time I get home. So question 3, tag favorites. What kind of tags do you like most and least to do and to watch? So my favorite tags are definitely the more discussion-based ones, such as this, where you're able to discuss different aspects of booktube and of life and of reading. I just feel like it's really fun to get to know the person talking a little bit better. I do, however, really like some of the more themed tags where you have to put books to certain prompts depending on what it is. Sometimes I feel like they're not as exciting, but have been certain ones that I think are kind of interesting. Like if they have like a Jane Austen theme, or if they're like connected to songs on an album or something like that, I think those can be a lot of fun if it's something I'm interested in. If it's something maybe I like but I'm not that like invested in or something, it's a little less intriguing to me. But I do really like some of the more clever ones that that work with things that I'm a little more invested in, if that makes sense. But definitely the ones that prompt a little more discussion about the booktuber themselves are probably my favorite. Question 4, tag style. How do you tag? Do you have a system for keeping track of when you are tagged or tags you plan to do? Do you prepare to do tags or just wing it? So like I said earlier, I have a planner that I do all my school stuff and everything in as well, but on the calendar pages, I specifically use the calendar pages primarily for planning out my video schedule. So I'll usually just find an empty spot where I usually either a Friday or a Tuesday, which is when I usually post, and so then I'm able to find empty spots when the next empty spot is that would work for this tag and just write it in, and I put in parentheses who tagged me so I can go back to their video. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I always wing tags. Like I used to try to plan for them a little bit more, and some of them I still do, especially if it's one where I need to choose a certain book to match a certain prompt, I may plan a little bit more for those just because I need to. Or if it's one of those tags where I choose booktuber favorites, like other booktubers that I love, I might prepare a little bit more. But most of the time I just wing it because I feel like tags are meant to feel a little more informal, and I kind of like that about them. So when I film, I can just kind of talk and it's all good and I don't need to stress too much about planning for it. Question 5, tag memories. Of the tags you have watched, done, or created, which have stuck in your memory? Are there any you would like to revisit or revive? This is a very good question. I can't right now think of, I think there's one, Hindsight is 2020 is one that I remember really enjoying just because it gives you a chance to talk about your reading past, and I liked watching that one a lot. I know that there are other ones that I've really liked. I just need a moment to kind of refresh my brain. Okay, I've just been scrolling through my past videos and I realized for the first like year I was on Booktube, I really didn't do tags hardly at all. I did like maybe 2. And that's it. And then recently, as I've actually been tagged by people, I've started doing a lot more. But anyway, one that I remember too that I actually really liked was the self-aware reader tag, just because it did honestly make me a lot more self-aware as a reader. I'm very much kind of a existential thinker. I like to think about my life and internalize things and, you know, recognize my own patterns so I can address them. And anyway, I felt like the self-aware reader tag was really interesting and a lot of fun. It brought up the terms brain candy and brain protein, which I feel like are very useful when describing certain books and how I feel about them, so that was really helpful. I can't think of any that I really want to like revive necessarily. I remember there was a Victorian literature tag made for Victober several years ago. I just this past year did it for the first time, and I think it would be fun if they would do another like a Victorian literature tag part 2 this next year. I don't know if they will or anything, if they have plans to do anything like that, but I do think it would be a lot of fun to do another Victorian literature tag, but that's not really reviving it. I'm thinking more along the lines of coming up with new questions. Oh, and actually another one that I really liked that recently has been going around Booktube was the Omnivore Reader Tag. I thought that was a lot of fun just because it gave people a chance to talk about all their different favorite genres and their favorite books, and I just always think that's a lot of fun. So that's another one I really liked, but again, none that I necessarily revived that I can think of. So yeah, that's my answer for that. And question 6 is of course to tag people, and I know this has been going around on Booktube for a while, so I'm not really sure who has not done this yet, and I just am not in the mood to figure out who I want to tag. So if you're watching this, you want to do it, consider yourself tagged, comment below and let me know that you are considering yourself tagged by me so I can make sure to watch your video. And also just let me know if you have like a specific question that was on this list that you'd like to answer even if you don't want to do the full tag. Please do. I would love to see it. And thank you so very much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!